welcome to this video. And thank you for being a part of this. Well, I know we are mourning. I know Ghanaians are mourning, and other people in other parts of this world are mourning with us because of the unfortunate incident that happened last Wednesday. But before I continue, fellow Ghanaians, we must all accept that we all have a hand in this accident which happened last Wednesday. And I'll explain to you why. Maybe you know why, or maybe you've heard somebody sharing this same opinion of mine. We must accept in the first place that we are all hypocrites and sycophants. Beginning from the top, all the leaders, the leadership of Ghana, very hypocrites and sycophants. All Ghanaians, myself included, hypocrites and sycophants. That's what we are. That is what we are. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because this unfortunate helicopter crash that happened and took the lives of all these gallant, beautiful souls. Thank you for watching. Whoever that is watching me, I don't see your name, but thank you. So back to what I was saying. This helicopter crash that happened, that took the lives of all these beautiful, gallant men. I said it in my last video that if we had stitched in time, it would have saved 9. A stitch in time saves 9. When I say this, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, how many times haven't we heard NDC and MPP politicians talk about measures put in place to solve galamsey? How many times? These MPP and NDC politicians just toy with Ghanaians, our lives. They just toy with our lives. And like I've said in some of my videos, sometimes certain things happen and we think, it doesn't bother me, so it's not my concern. Now we have seen what has happened. Now we've heard what has happened. Now we've all been witnesses to what has happened. You think polluting somebody's water is not your concern. You think depriving somebody of their cocoa farm is not your concern. You guys sit in Accra. I'm sorry, but we need to tell it like it is. We need to call a spade and not a big spoon. We are a country full of hypocrites and sycophants. Sundays, we all dress nicely. We're going to church. Fridays, we're going to the mosque. We're worshiping God. But ask yourself, all the bad things that go on in the country, who are responsible? The galamsey that has been going on in the country, who are responsible? Fine, we are all going to die one day. But then if this galamsey issue had been solved earlier, like the MPP claim, like the NDC claim, would this have happened? Fine, they could have gotten into another helicopter crash doing something else, but not because of galamsey. That is why I said a stitch in time saves 9. If we had stitched in time, it would have saved 9. We are living in a country that is built around politicians. We've created gods out of these politicians. When somebody becomes a minister, an MP, a CEO, all of a sudden they are untouchable. All of a sudden, the police, the military, they cannot say anything about the wrongs they do. Why should this happen? Why? Do you think? Thank you for watching me, Papa Ron. Do you think if the police, the military men in the past, if they had mastered courage to tell the politicians 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that no, don't destroy the forest, this accident would have happened we wouldn't have lost all these gallant men. We would not. But we all sit down, put our heads, we duck like the proverbial ostrich. We behave like the proverbial ostrich, as if there is nothing, but we know what is happening. Sycophants and hypocrites. That's what we are. That is what we are. We live in a country where politicians think they deserve better than all Ghanaians. Listen, this world, whether we like it or not, we are in a spiritual world. You are a politician. When you are sick, you take a plane, you go to Europe, America to seek medical attention. Meanwhile, in Ghana, we have pregnant women laying on the floor. Even if the pregnant woman does not rain curses on the politician, that act itself is a bad omen for Ghana as a country. For a pregnant woman, for a child to lay on the floor at a hospital. We live in a country where politicians think it's okay to destroy river bodies. I've said it before. When I was growing up, when we traveling to Accra, we passed through Suhum and Sawem, we saw the River Densu. Where is the River Densu now? Politicians, NDC, MPP, they have destroyed all the rivers in Ghana. Water is a symbol of life. If you are destroying the water bodies of your own people, what do you think you are doing? You are destroying their life. Even if the people are saying nothing, what do you think will happen to you? Politicians in Ghana, politicians in Africa need to be very careful. Seriously, Ghanaians are in pain a lot. And I understand that prior to this helicopter crash, there had been an accident, an automobile accident where 16 students, 16 pupils lost their lives, and nothing was said about this. Have you thought of the parents of these children? Did we think of the parents of these children? Did we? Did we think of the parents of these children before the helicopter crash? Do you think that if the parents, they were crying, of course they cried, and they were praying to God, what do you think God will let happen to the politicians in Ghana? Politicians in Ghana need to be very careful. Politicians in Ghana is a beautiful country. God has blessed our country that if, the leadership will sit up and do what is right by the people, everybody will be happy in the country. Some of us travel outside of Ghana to hustle to bring things back home. When we bring things back home, the charges that are put on this item, sometimes people bring their vehicles and they cannot even clear it from the port. Do you think those who suffer this fate, they will say anything good about the Ghana politician? Both MPP and NDC. Both MPP and NDC. A lot of Ghanaians are in pains because of your evil deeds. Because of your evil deeds. The MPP and the NDC. Almost 40 years. Listen, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough that you are a good person in the midst of bad people and bad things happen and you say nothing. One day, it will affect you. I've said it before, that don't think that something bad is happening to somebody and you care less about it. We are all connected, one way or the other. One way or the other, we are all connected. You may think you live in a big mansion, a big house, a big car, whatever. Now, the plane crash that happened, unfortunate. But you see that we are every Ghanaian is crying, every Ghanaian is sad. One way or the other, we are all connected. The peoples whose cocoa farms are being destroyed, the peoples whose source of drinking water is being polluted, and even when it comes to that, all Ghanaians, we are being poisoned because these river bodies that are being poisoned is a source of nourishment for all the plants, all the crops that are grown in Ghana. One way or the other, we are all being poisoned with all these heavy metals. Ghana politicians, why? Why do you disrespect Ghanaians like that? Why? There are some things I've said before and I'll repeat it. Why do you even think that cocoa clinics should be in Accra? How many cocoa clinics do we have in areas where cocoa are cultivated? Ask yourself. The elite, the political class, the academia, the upper echelons of society think they deserve, like they are more Ghanaian than the rest of us. Do you think the poor cocoa farmer will be praying for you? The poor cocoa farmer whose child falls sick or whose wife falls sick and they don't have access to a clinic in that village, you think they are happy with you, the MPP and the NDC? Why should we have a cocoa clinic in Accra, but not in a Triamanta or wherever that cocoa is cultivated? Why? Educated people, leadership in Ghana, religious leadership, and all those people who see themselves as big guys, educated, whatever, they think they are more Ghanaian than all of us. So they deserve everything. We have to tell it like it is. I'm praying. I'm just praying that whatever has happened, we will learn from it. Whatever that has happened, I am praying that political elite, the leadership, the religious leadership, the traditional leadership, they will learn from it. I'm just praying. Now, politicians, they have the nerve to flaunt their ill-gotten gains in our faces. Politicians, they have the nerve to flaunt their ill-gotten gains in our faces. All these politicians, how many of them come from rich backgrounds? You become a politician, then you forget about where you come from. You forget that where you come from, they share the same water with animals this day and age. We forget. We forget because you have access to bottled water. So you think it's cool. Now you are a cool politician, you are a cool MP, cool CEO. So you've forgotten about your village people. That your village people, they share the same source of drinking water with animals. This is a fact. This is happening this day and age. We forget. We forget so easily. And you think that is happening to your villagers, they'll say anything good about you. Even if Ghanaians are not cursing you, it is not a good omen. It is not a good omen for you that you become a politician, then forget about where you come from. Look, I mean, like I keep saying, we have to tell like it is. I know Ghana as a country, the politicians make us feel like we are all poor, but still we have some regions that are stricken with poverty. There are some regions stricken with poverty, and from these regions, we've had very prominent people, prominent men, prominent women. How have these politicians, these big men, these big women, how have they been able to help their own people? How have they been able to help their own people? The Ghanaian, the average Ghanaian becomes a big shot somewhere and they think they have to keep everybody down. Instead of holding hands so that we all rise up together. The average Ghanaian thinks, oh, I've become a CEO, I've become an MP, I've become this. So we should keep everybody down. Then when everybody sees you, they call you honorable. Honorable my somewhere. Honorable, what do you honor? You don't honor nothing. You don't honor nothing. That honorable word, I don't know why we call them honorable. You are an honorable, your people are drinking from the stream, being shared with cows and pigs and all of that. You call yourself honorable and you are happy, you wear a coat or a jacket, a white shirt and a tie. No, it's great, you look good. I love to look good too. But they call you honorable and you're not even ashamed of yourself. Your villagers are drinking from the same place that animals drink with. This day and age, beautiful young ladies are still carrying things on their head. You call yourself honorable? You call yourself honorable? You don't honor nothing. You honor nothing. Ghanaian politicians, you have to learn from what has happened. You have to learn from what has happened. For over almost 40 years, we cannot even create, we cannot construct a road, a first-class road between Kumasi and Accra. Do we know how many people who have lost their lives on this Kumasi-Accra road? Have we thought about that? Or they are not politicians, they are not CEOs, they are not connected to nobody, so their lives don't matter. That is how the politicians see us in Ghana and in Africa. I mean, fine. In Europe, America, whatever, the politicians, they have their own class. But people have access to basic necessities. People have access to basic necessities. People have access to basic necessities. People in Europe, America, don't share drinking water with cows and pigs and goats. If I have access to water, I have access to water, clean drinking water. I don't care what you do with your money. But when you are destroying the source of water, when we say water is life, then you don't care about your people. You don't. Traditional leaders they are in bed with the politicians now. Security couples in bed with the politicians. So the politicians, they've had their own way in treating Ghanaians like a piece of, you know what? You think it's good? I've always said in some of my videos that God Almighty is watching all of us. God Almighty is watching all of us. God Almighty is watching all of us. So keep on disrespecting the Ghanaian people. God has blessed all of us. Ghana as a country with a lot of things, a lot of rich mineral resources. Why can't we use this to benefit all Ghanaians? Of course, we cannot all be rich. The same. We cannot all be celebrated. I understand that. But why can't we provide basic necessities for our own people? You are an MP, you are a CEO, you are a minister, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are, some big person somewhere. Because you can buy mineral water, you don't care when, the villagers, their source of drinking water is polluted. It will affect you one day. Have we thought of the number of Ghanaians who are having kidney and other organ-related diseases right now because of galamsey? Have we thought about that? Have we thought about that? Have we thought of that as a people? Now, we have our women, our mothers, our girlfriends, our wives being concerned more about what they use on their body than the community they live in. Yes, if our mothers, our women will add their voice to what is happening, a lot of the stupidity, the foolishness that the men are doing, it will stop. But most women care about their wigs, their eyelashes, their butt implants. That's what they care about. That's what they care about. And this is where we all find ourselves. I've always said, when we look at the foundation the first president of Ghana built, if subsequent politicians are built on it, like we wouldn't have been here. We would be somewhere better, giving aid to other countries. Yes. But what is the interest of the MPP and the NDC? Is to steal from their own people. When somebody has traveled outside of Ghana, worked so hard, it is not easy. It is not easy. I know that in Ghana, almost every home, somebody has a relative that comes, is abroad somewhere. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. When we bring things to the port of Ghana, Tema, Accra, Takoradi, and you steal people's cars, you confiscate people's cars, think about the pains. Think about the pains. You do this to your own people, politicians. You and your cronies. You do this to your own people. Think about the pains. Ghanaians working in snow, working under the sun, working hard, working double shifts, sleepless nights, just to bring something home. Then you bring your car home, you bring whatever home, you cannot clear it because the charges are too much. Then they sell it to themselves. You think God is not watching? God is watching. One day we're all going to die. But some of you, your death is going to be worse. I'm not a prophet. But some of us, we put one and one together. I'm not a prophet. I'm not prophesying. But when you learn from the past and you learn from the present, you can predict what will happen in the future. I'm not a prophet. I'm not. But the disrespect, Ghanaian politicians are demonstrating towards Ghanaians, it's awful, very unpleasant. I've already enumerated some examples. Why do you think you live in Accra, you wear a suit, you deserve a better clinic, a cocoa clinic, more than the cocoa farmer in the village? Why? You live in Accra, you have access to bottled water, so you destroy the cocoa farmers' water in the village? You are a politician, you are a right honorable, you are president, you are vice president. You think, oh, you can travel outside of Ghana for medical attention, so you don't care about the medical facilities in Ghana? You think God is not watching? God is watching. God is watching. And it's about time our politicians, they learned from what is happening presently. Because God Almighty is not happy with the leadership of Ghana. I'm telling you, God Almighty is not happy with the leadership of Ghana and, of course, most African countries. I'm not here speaking as God's spokesperson or whatever. I'm just here using my common sense. That is what I'm doing. I'm not here prophesying. I'm just using my common sense. We treat each other, we treat Ghanaians with so much disrespect. People live in, about 2-3 weeks ago, look at McDonald's building that was demolished. Look at McDonald's building, where were the security couples? I don't care whether McDonald's had papers or not. When he started the building, where are the institutions? Why didn't they stop him? This thing is not peculiar to NDC alone. It's not. It happens during NDC time, it happens during MPP time, but because maybe McDonald's is linked to MPP, he could build whatever he can during the MPP time. Why can't we build strong institutions to work fairly, equitably for all Ghanaians? Why can't we build strong institutions? You sit down for somebody to build their house, their warehouse, their whatever, then go and demolish it. Even if the person does not say anything, you think the person is doing, it will not affect you? You think it will not affect you? If you are a good person and something bad is going on and you don't say it, one day it will affect you. If you can say nemo entumi wa etete wontama nemo say ntumi wa etete wontama na say eyi you ka dem bobio ebe we say openyin a ohwe nanka so no ma ye fa nanka we no ye ka nanka we for ye kan ka ho bi mpenyifo bebre wo Ghana esan say ya hye omafunu mu emmanti no omo nkasa asofo mpenyifo ahemfo mpenyifo ahema mpenyifo businessmen akese Niema ekoso wo Ghana nyina no meka chemo Nyankopon ebuafu Ghana leaders na membe gina ha nkasa se me yi odifo a menye odifo menye hwe na ma dwen eda metirim na me da dwen na me ne mo kasa Ghana fo before asa helicopter crash be say it's unfortunate ya say bibi say ye omo ne bo amo mebusuani omo makanyina say onye wabusuani krom ye Ghana fo before helicopter ni crash ni ba besi no mete se nkwara dunsia bi enso omu konya lorry akwanhia e wa Accra Kumasi road mo mu wuye Accra Kumasi road if you say ni if you aduanan a almost if you aduanan a Ghana MPP den dis ababedi so if you aduanan mutumi nya Accra Kumasi road ye emofra dunsia no mu wuye no omu hu nya awofo omu ne navofo omu ne nuanom omu ne adofo den na Ghana ye fa ho ya ho se eyi e kan say ostrich the proverbial ostrich kra me refi na netwi din ana ya say Ghana politicians I said there omu ye adwuma no omu nya hwe de omu ye nyina cosmetic window dressing ana ye disrespect Ghanaians ofo say o ye politician o ye CEO o ye say o yare utumi ko hospital wa brochire o ye right honorable utumi ko hospital wa brochire oba eko anyinsen no ko wo e wo Ghana na oda fem oda hospital fem na wankasa kra eye no mie ema kuro no eye no mie ma kuro mpanyimfo no se mu ni mu a eye no mie ma kuro mpanyimfo no nsuo yesi nsuo eye nkwa nsuo ye nkwa MPP ni NDC mpanyimfo asega na nsuo nyina na nsuo ye nkwa mo sega na fo nsuo no mo fo se Ghana fo ni agye mo ho mo fo se Ghana fo ngasa kra na omo ye no mo fo se den na kire mo fo se den na kire ye wo oman mu a politicians etumi ewie sika hye mpaase na omaka so mo musika na wa usika kra no o ye politics no mo se mo ba beboa na Ghana fo ha omo nti wa usika kra wo fa ntumi mbi adwuma na obi nya adwuma ni bi ye se wa usika mo wie sika hye politank mu ebi tumi nya sika eko to gold eba radio station ebe yi Ghana fo hin nya ya kra ne say politicians they say omo fa somebody omo ill gotten gains omo sika fin na omo nya no edi betwitwa Ghana fo ni so omo de betisi Ghanaians masa edu time say ye kan say na tie o edu time say ye kan say na tie na nka sebe ye military ni police fan ko mo be kasa point go any one no straight no map no so they say military and the police for so any politicians they are in bed ya shoma funu mu ma asofo ya shoma funu mu ma ahemfo ahema ya shoma funu mu ma na mo fo say Ghana mpanyimfo mo yesa na ye mo fo say mo yesa na ye say Ghana for entumi enkasa da chibi no ebe affect obiara helicopter crashes enye obiade o enye obiade amofo se anka eye na nka galamse ya kan no mo solve ne de da aka obi back for helicopter se okọ bo akoye yi ni nyina no eyi ya kan say da kra mo da Ghana for kra keke yes so na echire no na mo hyase na mo di Ghana for ewu mo di Ghana for bone ye tu kwan ebe na musuno so na mo wia so amafo double job obi di ka be ba Ghana na ye politician age ana we ya de beto sukura wontumi ntua Ghana ni amfo se ya wa nipa na de ti ono so wambo dua kra na ho a all kano mfo se de na ebesi Ghana kro no kai kro fe kro fe agonyankopon de ache menka se obia basic nipa no but we are somewhere ye will be I just say obianya access to basic necessities. Water is one of them. Water insio Bible mu trako krumu kran insio ayankwa insio yankwa na wo politician who say Ghana for insio no now they all know drinking bottled water no ofo say nyagopon or hata soro no or onhwe nyagopon hwe nyina o nyagopon ohwe nyina na ya feel say bibi ye say ye kan sempo ye ka say etu anyongo ho etu aduam o ebeba be fa ho daachi bi ebi anya nne se nimo entumi wa ebetete ho ntama se nimo entumi wa hwe some of us ne mpeka sa o me won mo ni me busuafo pa no o me say o me ka say na ya akwa de afede na say de wa peka sa do yes sir me no na me observe more most of the time but me do pepper so me no realize say nipa wan kasa they say kasa wan kasa oti ho ye waji bone Ghana for yam pekasa o Ghana for yenye basa esantete ye de maye wo fie nti because you feel say mpanyimfo wo fie so panyi wo fie I feel say opanyi eye de ye opanyi ye de fata but you say mpanyimfo sesi a omo Ghana no omo ndwen daachi ho omo ndwen enne ya kan say membo ho omo ndwen obia ho omo dwom nko omo ho na mpanyimfo wo fie na bibi say esia den ebeba mpanyimfo dwom nko omo ho eye me gasa bebre makotwa job my bread ba me there asema me kan no Ghana politicians monhwe ni yie na mo sesa musuban na mo jase nia mo disrespect Ghanaians no in so many ways and then sendro said that be okuje to gina ho ebisa say na Nyankopon ti ase onu onyum Nyankopon okuje to onyum Nyankopon Munim Yankupon wanka mo be treat Ghana for sa. Munim Yankupon mo be say Ghana for nsuo. Munim Yankupon wanka mo be ko Abrochire hospital. Na mo jaga mo say Ghana for hospitals amamo. Munim Yankupon wanka lorry kwan asese aka Kumasi nipa say na wu was akwan ne so. Munim Yankupon wanka MPP ni NDC. Kama yesa kwan no. Men kan tell me say is kasem. My campaign Apostle Joseph Kantanka or building construction equipments. Construction equipments. Ghana, we have the youth on our side. Brilliant, hardworking, strong youth. And then tena young fasika and share Kantanka ejumanimu. Non building equipment, construction equipments. Na yen to Ghana for youth. Ni papa ejumaye. But se utia ni ye. No so otumenya bibi de etwane ho. Ya nyabre ana yahye Kantanka adwuma yimu yahye mu kina den kwan no ntumi den kwan na yentumi ye abo be ne ni wo Ghana den na yen den pa na yeni wo Ghana den pa na yeni wo Ghana say Ghana obi koda kom obi nam wa nsuo kura onya be nom and na yensuo nyina awe. Thank you for watching, all those watching me, thank you. Den pa na yenya aden na wiase a yaba ye be wako NDC ni MPP mo ma ye ho ntoyen ene a hypocrite nya twomfo munsu say na helicopter no MPP ni NDC mo ye party a mo do Ghana aka mo twem ho afi aban mu mo nim na egu ase MPP ni NDC se mo solve galamse di dada aka we emba ye losing fine handsome strong gentlemen, gallant gentlemen. So much ho afi nema boni amu wo mu a nka weyamba ti oman mu a oman politicians to me din samoni ediewu a nipa nim say politicians na ediewu yi it's not obi ayekom nya chum hypocrite o ka ho meso me ka ho hypocrite esan say o ye me wafa o ye me say o ye MPP ni o ye NDC ni ye kum nipa ene abesim asem na kosi saying abesim saying JB Dankwa wo na kosi saying just to mention these two sa when so betwem na foforo aba na politicians there make us obi ewe me de enya me de na omo mewu dida na omo mewu kidney diseases after galamsey nsem ntie Ghana for mo yenja nya atwom no ye sorry ani akotena sorry dem yenja nya atwom no ye hypocrites ye mpe no kware de wa wabusuam mpanyimfo a wa abusuam ahemfo ahemma omako school won watu kwan a expect say won ani abue no nsɛmɔne ye die bi mu nsɛmɔne kra yanka ye die bi mu nsɛmɔne. Yes, I'm talking from experience. Ye die bi mu nsɛmɔne a yanka you expect say mpanyimfo anka won akɔ school won ani abue won nya de bia bi wiase mu ha nso esan say enfam ho enfam ma ho ntino ye didi when dey anya hwe Ghana yeso man no ye didi when dey anya hwe ebe count action and kan kura wo be ye basa menya commissioni me nkom menya commissioni Yakopon suma me ye common sense ye fie nyansa na de mesua ewo troko nkro nim no ti Ghana politicians monkoso na mama monse samu subaenda MPP ni NDC mo ye nipa mo dwen Ghana ho a ka ba twem afi aban ho because mo nim aguase a de mo ye no mo mpe Ghana fo asem mo mpe Ghana kro na asem na mo mpe Ghana fo asem mo pe Ghana fo asem aka mo nse ye nsuo mo nim na aguase Yakopon minga se Yakopon tria woka na waka so de nsa bebre Yakopon o hwe ye nyinara me de manu besi manfa manu ensi a nsem me wo me trembe se me keka no enya nsem papa ti me manu besi se na da me ka no ukono monsa ngotwika ukotwika nso a men kono monsa udidi a wadidi kakra bi na munja indomie nya aduane pa indomie enya aduane pa se nipa udi e ma wo yare indomie mundidi aduane ye ndi aduane a ye ma me mo de tete wo ye muka so ye enjoy processed foods no nti if you drink don't drive, if you drive don't drink. And what again? Once a while you try to fast so that your body can use your stored energy. Okay? Until you ending the same. Peace and love to you. Now do the naka. I say my wuti no men kwame ntie. Woso no be so ntie bi. Woso no be so ntie bi. Na Ghana no yebetimi achichi ni ye amobi ani age. E okro nim. Medam ase. Mo hwe mi nyina medam ase. Thank you all for watching. God bless. Bye bye.